Welcome back to Ghost Powered Entertainment. I'm your host, Kanan Becker, and today we talk about Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. And real quick, before we get into this, if you could do me a favor and hit that like button, because that really helps this channel out so much. Alright, so I just got finished watching Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. It is the new Paranormal Activity movie that just dropped exclusively on Paramount Plus. And off the top, I gotta say, I'm kind of disappointed because I think this is a good enough movie that it would have been nice to see in theaters. It's not an amazing game changer or anything like that, but this is actually a pretty solid movie, and I feel like on the big screen in a theater, it would have been even better. So, as much as I am a fan of all this streaming stuff, these new movies going to streaming services because it's nice, especially in the whole situation of the world, to be able to watch these cool new movies at home, it still is a bummer in a lot of ways when it's something like this where I feel like it would have been better on that big screen. But anyway, to get into the movie, it is a Paranormal Activity movie, but mostly in name only. I didn't get very much of a Paranormal Activity vibe off this movie. Yes, it has similarities because, yes, it's found footage. But this one goes in a very different direction, especially for the fact that this one is doing a documentary style. So instead of being cameras hidden around for security purposes or whatever, in this one, it is them filming a documentary. And I like that twist. I think it actually serves really well in this movie doing it that way, and it felt fresh and different and original compared to the other ones that have come out in the recent past.
Hey, mind if I film you for a moment?
Is this the best of the Paranormal Activities? No, not really. I don't think that, but I think it's definitely the best one we've seen in a while. But then again, like I said, it is mostly a Paranormal Activity in name only. So Christopher Landon wrote this movie, and I'm a big fan of his. He did movies like Freaky that came out last year, as well as Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. I just dig his style and feel of movies that he does. This one's a little more darker and edgy. It doesn't feel as kind of happy-go-lucky as those other ones, but it's not silly in any way. But I still felt his real attention to detail in this movie. This is one of the more detail-driven Paranormal Activities I've seen in quite a while. I feel like everything was really thought about in this movie, and even if it's something that didn't necessarily work, nothing feels haphazard and just thrown together. This feels really planned out and like they really cared about what they were doing. This movie feels lived in and loved, and I really appreciate that, and I think that's probably my favorite thing about this movie. It just looks really great and it feels intentional. So overall, this isn't the most original movie ever made, but it does have some really cool stuff. So the basic premise of this movie is this woman decides she's gonna make a documentary with her boyfriend or husband, I can't remember. And they're making a documentary because she was adopted and she wants to go find out about her mother and where she comes from.
We are humbled and grateful to have our sister Margot return to us.
She finds out that her mother, who abandoned her basically right after she was born, put her in a basket on a doorstep type of deal, she was Amish. She was part of an Amish community. So she goes to this Amish community and they make a documentary about all that. And as they live there, things start to get more and more creepy and uncomfortable as the movie goes. And that's one of the strong points of this movie, is just this weird, awkward, uncomfortable quality that is injected in it. And I think they did a fantastic job of conveying that. And you could definitely feel this movie was filmed during the pandemic. You see people wearing masks and you could definitely feel that. And in a weird way, that really worked for this movie. It just kind of added to the uncomfortability that we've all been in, and that you could just kind of tell was part of their world as well in this movie. It just helped ground it a little bit with it being something that we're all dealing with. And it didn't make much of a deal of it, but just that little touch of it that is in there, I thought actually worked pretty well.
Whoa. Why would they build a church all the way back here?
What is that?
So in general, this movie just goes places. It starts to become more and more bizarre, and what you're thinking is just a simple haunted house deal like most Paranormal Activities. This starts to go in a different direction, and I really appreciated that. But it also was part of what made this not really feel like a Paranormal Activity movie. And I'm not going to give anything away, but let me just tell you that what this does and the direction that it goes is pretty rad, and I really dug it. It actually, in a strange way, reminded me a little more of like a VHS episode or segment than it necessarily was a Paranormal Activity movie. It just had that raw kind of feel about it and intense feel about it. Just in general, this isn't a game changer. This isn't like an amazing movie that you're going to put in your top 5 of the year or anything like that. But I think it is entertaining. I think it's well done, and I think it's actually a solid enough movie that it's worth checking out on Paramount Plus. So I'm not saying you should rush out and get Paramount Plus just to watch this movie. However, for like $5-6, it's worth renting if you were to rent it on another platform. But in this case, that much, you basically get the whole channel for a month. And I think that's worth it because Paramount Plus has some other cool stuff, some series and movies that are worth checking out. So I think it's a pretty good deal. Anyway, I'm rambling now, but I did enjoy this movie.
Oh my God.
You sure about this?
I have to know.
So that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Please leave your comments down below. Let me know if you've checked this out and what you thought. Also, if you could do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ding that little bell, because that is the best way to keep track of this channel. And when I post videos like this, and I try to post videos like this at least 2 times every week, I also want to give a massive, huge, enormous thank you to my patrons, because you guys, your support seriously means so much to me. And if you would like to find out more about becoming a patron, the link is down in the description. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Please crush that like button. And remember, guys, horror can be fun. I will see you guys next time.